What's going on, guys? We have a few bays to talk about, including the January and February releases, as well as a look at what could be the first UX Beyblade. So let's go ahead and start from the top and talk about the January release. And we have also known what these releases will look like for about a month or so because of the manga, but now we see the actual bays themselves, and they look pretty nice. Introducing UnicornSting. UnicornSting is a booster that's going to be releasing January 27th, so around 2 weeks from now, and is used by the blader Uninamba in the manga, and it's part of Team Yggdrasil, whatever. This is also the Beyblade that we saw in that silhouette that was asymmetrical, where one side was smooth and the other side was jagged. But now that we see the actual bay, it's definitely a lot more round than I was expecting. It's not as extreme as I thought, but you can see how one side is smooth and the other side has ridges. And also, since I know someone is going to say it because it's a unicorn bay and because of the colors, yes, it does remind me of Unicorno or Striker, whatever name you want to go with. If you guys want to get the bays I'm talking about in this video, like UnicornSting or SphinxCowl, I definitely recommend you check out Mall of Toys. They have these bays up for pre-order right now for a really solid price, and they have a bunch of other Beyblade X stuff as well, like Phoenix Wing, the Wyvern Gale random booster, Dran Dagger, and beyond. So definitely go and check them out. Links in the description down below, and make sure to use code ilinnuc to get 5% off of your first purchase. And now let's move on to the rest of the part. Starting with the Ratchet, we have what looks to be a clear white or a pearly white 560. This is not a brand new Ratchet. We've seen this for a few months now. I know some people are going to be kind of disappointed at that, but this is a booster. You are going to have to get like one part that isn't brand new, and it's still a good Ratchet. I like the color. But if you are wanting something new, then direct your attention to the bit, which is GP or Gear Point. Now, Phoenix Wing was the first bay in the Team Yggdrasil lineup, and it was using Gear Flat, and all the bays from this team have a Gear something bit. And for Unicorn, we have Gear Point, which is just a gear version of Point, obviously. But let me know what you guys think of the return of the Unicorn bay in the comments down below. But now let's move on to the next bay, which is Sphinx. So this is the February release, coming out February 22nd, and it is a random booster select containing one of 3 versions of SphinxCowl. And I think the design for this bay is incredible. I will say it's definitely different looking from the manga. It has the same shape, but the manga is a little bit more square, and this really rounds off a lot of the edges, but it still has a lot of jagged areas, and it's also very square. And in the manga / anime, the bay is going to be used by Zonomos Nekoyama, who is a member of Team Yggdrasil. I mentioned him in my last news video about this Beyblade. He's definitely a bit of a bigger guy, has a book, and we'll also see him in the anime, I think, next week. Episode 15 or 16, whatever one we're on at this point. But going back to the design of the bay, I really do like it a lot. I like the color scheme, I like the shape. Also, the design, like, baked into the metal blade looks great as well. Kind of reminds me of Viper Tail, where it wasn't just basic shapes, but you had, like, these hexagonal little, like, cutouts in the metal itself, which is supposed to be the scales of the snake. And we have that same sort of edging and design work here. And I think it's just, whoever designed this, give them a raise. But the main color scheme here is a brownish gold and bluish greenish color. But there are 2 other bays in this random booster select. I know, random boosters are kind of lame, but at least you're getting Sphinx no matter what. But the other color schemes are really nice. You have a black and red color, and then you have kind of the inverse, which is a white and blue. So I definitely really like it. I like it more than some of the full random booster recolors, that's for sure. And we're also going to see the recolor of Sphinx in this upcoming episode. But moving on to the parts for the prize bay in the random booster select, the Ratchet is 980. So we have a new Ratchet here, kind of a different version of 960 that we got with Phoenix Wing. And for the bits, we have GN, or Gear Needle. Now, Needle might be good, whatever. It's probably my least favorite bits, or one of my least favorite bits in all of Beyblade X, so Gear Needle is an interesting choice. It's a stamina defense tip, so why it needs a gear, whatever. We're just gonna have to wait and see. And it's also in this sort of bluish color to match with the rest of the Beys. So once again, the full color scheme of SphinxCowl is just nice. Now, like I said earlier, this is the February release, coming out February 22nd, so about 6-ish weeks from now. And it's also the last release until we get some of the UX Beys. If you guys didn't know, the current Beyblade releases we're getting right now have the BX code. For example, SphinxCowl is BX27. Well, apparently, in March, we are getting UX releases. Are we getting rid of BX entirely? It doesn't seem so. Is UX a new series or new season of Beyblade? We also don't know. But we may have just gotten a look at the first UX Bey in this month's issue of CoroCoro, and it definitely looks extremely similar to Excalibur. As you can see, it's like Excalibur mixed with some Prime Apocalypse. It is very sharp. You can definitely see the metal around the blade itself with the clear plastic in the middle. So it doesn't look to be like super different from current Beyblade X, but it just has a crazy shape. But really, this is just an advanced silhouette. You really can't see much other than the shape of the Bey, the fact it has the same Beyblade X kind of launcher prongs or whatever. Also, the color scheme of the whole advertisement marketing is blue, so maybe the color of the Bey will be blue. I assume this is the evolution to Dran Sword / Dran Dagger. I don't really think they're going to do what they did for Beyblade Burst and just have a bunch of brand new main characters for like a season 2. And I think it just makes sense. I mean, it's like an Excalibur, so it's kind of like a sword theme potentially, and Dran Sword, Dran Dagger just kind of makes sense. And also the color scheme looks to be blue, like I said earlier, just like Dran Sword. I'm just connecting the dots. But UX is set to launch in March, and I'm sure we'll find out more about it in next month's issue of CoroCoro. So if you want to know what happens, hit that subscribe button. But that is going to wrap up this video. If you liked it, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and let me know what you guys think of UnicornSting, SphinxCowl, and maybe more excitingly, what could be the first Bey in the UX lineup, which I think is an evolution to Dran Sword. But let me know what you think. I will see you in the next one. Have fun, and Bey away.